Hello everybody, this is Cheri at djsundry.blogspot.com and welcome to another one of my Close to My Heart Thursday videos. Today I'm doing something really different and I want you to know, I'm going to show you what I'm doing, then I'm going to tell you before I even start that actually some of these products are being discontinued at the end of July, so if you want to get your hands on them, you need to run and do it now. Some of them have already disappeared. Even one of the papers that I'm going to show you today is no longer available. So time is running out. Things are being added to the unavailable list all the time. So today I am doing a fun project. It's not a card. It's not a scrapbooking page. It's a project and I'm so excited. I am making treats. I'm using my Art Philosophy cartridge and I'll show you more about that in a minute. I have some extra gum here, and there's a reason that I have it as extra. I am using Skylark paper from the B&T. It's just the double-sided paper from the Skylark. That's what I'm showing you on, and then when we're all done at the end of the video, I will also show you some that I used the Timberline, and it's the Timberline paper that has actually been discontinued. I am also using one of the stamp sets that came with the Art Philosophy cartridge, and it is sticking to everything. This stamp set, it just came with the cartridge, and this is a super fun stamp set. And because it coordinates with the cartridge, it tells you exactly on here to cut at 2 inches, because I'm using this Thanks Your. So let's just jump right into the project, and we're going to start with our stamping. Now this is the 2-inch flower that I cut, and I'm going to use Lagoon ink. I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I've set aside my little pad. Now the stamp is a pretty solid image, and I would recommend that you stamp on a piece of paper a couple times just to make sure you get a good feel for the stamp, make sure that it's getting really inked up. This is the 7th one of these that I've made, and they've all turned out with varying degrees of the way I like them. But you're going to line it up on your flower, and I'm going to try to do this without getting my head in the video, which is a little bit difficult. But this is a 2-inch flower. And I didn't quite get it lined up perfectly, but I think we're okay. I think it's still going to be cute. If you could get right over and see the top of it, which I can't without getting my head in the camera, you could line it up better than that probably. Now, when I say 2 inches, what I mean is, this is the flower that goes with it. This is page 41. It's circle 3, which means you just cut this using no special features. You're not using any of your shift keys or any special keys, and you cut that at 2 inches. And so that's the first part that I did. Now the second part that I did is this is just using the Colonial White cardstock. This is the same exact shape, which is kind of funny because I didn't even realize this stamp was in the set, but I went looking through all my Close to My Heart stamps for a thank you stamp. And I had already cut the flowers because I had a different stamp I was going to use, but I thought I would give it just one more chance of going through my stamps to see if I had one from a current catalog. And this one is current. I had already cut this out the exact same shape without knowing that I had it, and I cut it at 3 inches. Now if I had it to go back and do over again, I would probably go down to maybe 2 1/4 inches. I'm sorry, not 2 1/4, 2 3/4 or 2 1/2, but it still works for what I want it to do. So the next thing that I'm going to do, set that aside, is I'm going to adhere these to each other. I use my thing right side up. This tape, and if you've watched many of my videos, you know that I've said this before, that I used this tape runner before I became a Close to My Heart consultant and before I even knew Close to My Heart sold it, because I like it. It's just a really great tape runner. And it's also being discontinued. So if you want to get your hands on it from Close to My Heart, be sure and run over and do that. So now I took another piece here, and this is again the Colonial White, and I cut it at 3/4 inches wide, and I just used scraps. You can even see here that I used scraps. And the reason I did it at 3/4 inches because I thought that would be about an appropriate size to use as a banner coming off. And then I'm going to just hand trim out a little banner. So I'm just eyeballing it. I would guess this is roughly, I don't know, 2 1/2, 3 inches, something like that. I don't know exactly because I didn't measure it. All I measured was the width. So there's the 3/4 inch width, and I'm going to tuck that underneath there. And then I'm going to tell you what it says. I actually use Vintage Photo Distress Marker right here because I don't have any matching Close to My Heart markers. And so it was the best match for the cocoa ink of any of the markers that I had. And what it says is, thanks for going the extra mile for our patients. And then I signed it. And this is actually a treat for some of my co-workers who did some kind of extra certification. It's something that's not required, but it's an extra certification that some of them did just to help improve patient care, and I really appreciate that. So that's what that's for. And that is why I chose extra gum, because the extra. So now I have a piece of the paper, and I use double-sided paper. You don't have to. You can use whatever paper you like. I love the Skylark paper. And I cut this, I'm going to have to look here, at 3 inches wide by 6.25 inches long. Now initially I went through and I scored it to be all perfect, but it didn't end up folding over like I would like. So this is what I did. And I found that this worked a little bit better for me. I set this in the middle, and then without score marks, I actually just kind of folded it over, holding it really tightly, and then I folded it over the other way. Oops, still trying to hold it as tightly as I can. Then I took my fingers and just kind of made score marks because I like that sharp crease on there. And then I can go back now, add my adhesive to adhere it to each other. Now you'll notice that it's kind of sticking, and that's because my adhesive isn't all the way on the piece of paper. Some of it's on the gum, which is fine with me. That helps me hold it in place a little bit better while I'm trying to match it all up. And then I come across on the front, and again, I'm just creasing it with my fingers just to give it that nice tight crease. Now my initial thought when I was doing these is that I was going to go and maybe put this on the top, but I decided I wanted that nice smooth on the top to be opposite of where I cover up. Because my flower is so large, I can cover up almost this whole crease in the middle, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just like this. Lots of adhesive because this is going in a little goodie bag that I'm giving each of these participants. And then I'm just adhering that down. Now I could stop there, but I decided I don't want to. Move my drink cup. My kids brought me a drink earlier today from McDonald's. And I have these sequins. Now these sequins are not Close to My Heart sequins. I understand that. These are actually from just Walmart mainstays. And I have them in all different colors. But the good news is in the new release next month, Close to My Heart will have gold and silver sequins. I actually have seen them. Just a little heads up, they're here. The nice thing about them is they also are already sticky. These I will have to glue down. My new ones I will not. But they haven't been released yet, so you're just going to have to wait to see them. But be watching, because in August there are going to be some amazing new products, including new sequins. So I'm just choosing a few of them, and I am going to get out my liquid glass. And I haven't, this is kind of something that I just kind of decided to do, so I haven't even prepared my liquid glass. Something you should know about liquid glass and glossy accents, if you use glossy accents, is it has this really nice fine tip nozzle, but the glue dries in it and makes a mess, and it won't come out. And so usually the first time you use it after it's been closed up for a while, you need to take a pin or something and run it down the shaft to that fine tip, just to make it flow. But it's such a wonderful glue, it's such a minor inconvenience that it's worth it, because it truly is one of the best things for the crafting world. So I just put a few of those on there, and there is the first one. And I will go back and do that to the rest of them as I finish them up. And like I said, I made several of them. This is the one I used doing the Skylark packet, and then this one is using the Timberline packet. So if you're still fortunate enough to have your hands on a few of these pieces of paper, because like I said, they're gone, you could do it with the Timberline paper as well. You can do it with any paper, but it's just a cute little gift to tell somebody thank you for something that they did that was above and beyond, a little bit extra. So thanks so much for stopping by today, and remember, take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.